A man sits in his car in a parking lot. He just got home from work, but he doesn't go inside. He sits there for 5 minutes, then 10. He's not scrolling, he's not texting, he's just sitting. He's making a beat. He doesn't realize he's doing it. Now, imagine that same man, but he's not in a car. He's in a cave. There is no phone, there is no radio, there is no conversation. There is only the fire, the dark, and the sound of his own breathing. And then he picks up a bone and he taps it against a rock. Tap, tap, tap. Why? Why did he do that? Why did any of them start making music? It's a strange question when you think about it. Music doesn't feed you. It doesn't keep you warm. It doesn't kill the animal that wants to eat you. From a purely survival standpoint, making music is a waste of energy. Energy you could have spent finding food. Energy you could have spent building shelter. Energy you could have spent not attracting a predator with a loud, repetitive noise. And yet, every single human culture we have ever found, from the frozen tundra of Siberia to the rainforests of the Amazon, has music. Not some of them, all of them. The oldest known musical instrument is a flute. It's made from the bone of a vulture. It is 40,000 years old. 40,000 years. That's older than the oldest cave paintings. That's older than the first pottery. That's older than the last ice age ended. So the question isn't just why did they start? The question is, what problem was music solving? Because it was solving something. Otherwise, they wouldn't have kept doing it. Let's start with the obvious answer, the one you probably guessed. Rhythm. You know that feeling when you're walking and your footsteps sync up with a song? Or when you're running and the beat pushes you forward? That's not a coincidence. That's your brain using sound to coordinate your body. Walking is easy. Walking together is hard. Especially when you're carrying something heavy, like a dead mammoth. If you've ever tried to move a couch up a flight of stairs with a friend, you know the problem. You need a count. 1, 2, 3, lift. Ancient humans didn't have a count. They didn't have numbers. But they had a beat, a rhythmic grunt, a slap on the thigh, a stamp of the foot. That beat told everyone when to pull, when to push, when to lift. It turned a group of individuals into a single machine. This is called work song, and it's still practiced today. In some cultures, you don't work without a song, because without the song, the work is harder. The song makes the heavy thing feel lighter. But that's just the surface. That's the practical answer. The real answer is stranger. Let's talk about the dark. You know that feeling when you're alone in a dark house and you hear a creak? Your heart rate spikes. Your breathing gets shallow. Your brain is screaming. Something is there. This is the oldest fear we have. The fear of the unknown. The fear of the predator in the dark. For ancient human, the night was not a time for rest. It was a time of danger. You couldn't see, you couldn't run, you could only listen. Every sound was a threat. A twig snapping, a rock falling, a breath that wasn't yours. So what did they do? They made their own sound. A drum, a rattle. They filled the silence. Because silence was dangerous. Silence meant you were listening for the threat. But sound meant you were in control. Music was a weapon against the dark. It was a way of saying, we are here. We are awake. We are not afraid. And that leads us to the next beat, the social one. You know how awkward it is to walk into a room full of strangers? You don't know the rules, you don't know the jokes, you don't know who to trust. Ancient humans had the same problem, but the stakes were higher. A stranger wasn't just awkward. A stranger could be a threat. How do you prove you're not a threat? How do you prove you belong? You sing the same song. Music is a shared experience. It requires synchronization. It requires trust. When you sing with someone, your heartbeats literally sync up. Your breathing matches. Your brain releases oxytocin, the same chemical that bonds a mother to a child. Music was a chemical handshake. It said, we are the same. We can work together. We can trust each other. This is why every ritual, every ceremony, every gathering of humans involves music. It's not entertainment. It's bonding. You go to a concert and you feel connected to strangers. That's not magic. That's a 40,000-year-old survival instinct. But there's a darker reason too, one we don't like to talk about. Music is also a weapon, a war drum, a battle cry, a song that says, we are coming and we are not afraid to die. Rhythm can terrify, it can intimidate, it can make your enemy hesitate for one crucial second. And that second is all you need. So music was a tool for work, a shield against fear, a bond for community, a weapon for war. But there's one more reason, and it's the strangest one of all. Let's talk about the flute, the 40,000-year-old vulture bone flute. It wasn't a drum, it wasn't a rattle, it was a melody. To make a flute, you need to understand something abstract. You need to understand that a column of air, when split in a specific way, produces a specific pitch. You need to understand that a shorter column makes a higher sound, and a longer column makes a lower sound. This is not obvious. This is not something you stumble upon by accident. This is a discovery. And it took thousands of years to perfect. The first flutes probably sounded terrible. They were experiments. Someone blew into a hollow bone and got a squeak, and they thought, I can do better. Why? Why spend hours carving a bone to make a sound? Because the sound was beautiful. And beauty mattered. We think of beauty as a luxury, something you enjoy after the work is done, something you have time for when you're not starving. But for ancient humans, beauty was not a luxury. It was a necessity. Because beauty is meaning. When you make something beautiful, you are saying, this moment matters. This sound matters. I matter. Music was proof that life was more than survival. It was proof that you had a soul. And that brings us back to the car. You sit in your car. You tap your thumb on the steering wheel. You don't know why, but now you do. You're not just killing time. You're not just bored. You are doing what your ancestors did 40,000 years ago. You are filling the silence. You are proving you are here. You are making a small, quiet statement against the dark. Tap, tap, tap. It's the oldest song we know, and you've been singing it your whole life.